with us.
Yeah, we're going to have your code and your ticker on this network, and you can't stop it from being traded.
Right.
And so there's a derivative, and then if there's liquidity bonding the prices together, so if, let's say you have Chainlink on Ethereum, and then after launch, price bounces around a while, but I bet that over time that these prices will move similarly.
Right.
I think that the Link ticker on Pulsechain is likely to move similarly to the Link ticker on Ethereum.
Right. Just because of the bridge, right? And
well, because they're bonded by the liquidity.
Right.
And then it's the same code with the same ticker. Now, do you want to pay $100 or $300 to trade it on Ethereum, or do you want to pay a penny to trade it over here? And we already know this answer because they're doing it on other networks as well.
Yeah.
People do trading on alternate networks, and then we're the one that you don't like. Your coins are already here. You don't even have to bridge over.
Right.
You've already got your free coins here. You can already access them by changing one setting in your MetaMask. It's awesome.
Dude, it sounds
it
sounds pretty awesome.
Well, that's the trick. That's the magic. Is you launch this whole network with all these new coins. How do you get those new coins to be valuable?
Right.
But by not letting anyone ever stop the trading, by having the same tickers, and by giving people a reason to back the value of the things they got free.
Right.
By rewarding them with a yield farming token. It's like a giant vampire attack, basically. It's a giant vampire attack.
Hey everybody, and welcome back. Now, obviously, I've been off unwell last 6 days, I think it is, something like that. So that's unusual for me. You can hear my voice is still a little bit croaky, but hopefully we'll get through this live stream with some style. Either that or we'll crash and burn, one of the two. That's pretty much how we're going. Get into the chat, folks. Say hello. It's been a few days, so let's have some fun. We've got lots of cool things to talk about. Bullish news for Pulsechain ahead. I mean, this thing is lining up like the stars are aligned for absolute next alpha phase of the crypto run. I mean, it looking really, really good. We're going to talk about the Bitcoin conference this week. Of course, President Trump speaking there could have a massive impact on Bitcoin and crypto generally with a different direction and regulation and things like that. A lot more stuff, so we'll talk about that. The Ethereum ETF, of course, expected to launch tomorrow too. Looks like it's had the seal of approval, so just the bullish news just keeps on going. It really is exciting ahead. We got Brian in the house there. Good to see you, Brian. What's up, folks? Our community leader announced with the also alpha all the time. Good to see you, Brian. Brian's back again. Yeah, we're back, says Wookie. We are indeed. Looks like everybody's back today, so it's kind of good to see. A big shout out to Wookie in the Discord there. Ben Miller, hi Superman Syndicate family. Good you're back. Hey, good to be back, Ben. And yeah, big shout out to all the Syndicate family, number one family in the Mafia game, and going to stay that way if we can do anything about it. So looking pretty cool. Big shout out to the Don, Archie the Don, of course, absolutely crushing it up there. And of course, also Max Payne, the Capadecina, doing a great job as well. Matt and Barley says hello all everybody. Good to see you, Matt. Hope you're doing well. And of course, Hedgehog, got to have you back. You sound like you've been in a cage like mine. Yeah, probably. All right, so we've got Brennan in the house as well. Aldi, Superman and family, stay hydrated. Yeah, I've got a drink here, so hopefully we'll make it through the first live stream back. Matt says it's got the Supermans. I like that. That's pretty cool. They're looking pretty good, that lineup. All right, shall we get into it? We've got quite a lot to talk about. So, yeah, looking super bullish. So you can see the picture in the background there, Elon Musk there. Got the old light ups there. You know, was it a Bitcoin and Ethereum? Was it blue and red? Is it blue and red? I think it's blue for Ethereum, isn't it? Yeah. So excited to see that back trending. So Elon Musk, you know, bullish about crypto too. So pretty excited about where this is heading. We've got the perfect lineup. It's just unbelievable. It really is. This next part of the year is going to be so much fun. So let's get into the news here. We've got the stock market, of course. We had S&P 500 and best day since June as big tech rebound. So this is a real positive way to start the week, obviously from Monday's results. It's Tuesday here in New Zealand, of course. We've got the Dow Jones up 0.3%, 128 points to 40,415. We've got S&P 500 up over 1%, 59 points 5,564. And the NASDAQ there up 1.6%, 277 points at 18,000. Just unbelievable numbers getting through here on the stock market. Very, very excited to see that. So that's kind of the cool thing. Now, obviously, we've seen a lot of drama around the Biden pulling out of the US election. So obviously that's huge. And it looks like he actually maybe has gone ill as well. And, you know, who knows at his age what's happening here. No one's seen him. Everyone's, people, even Fox News apparently is asking for proof of life. So I don't know what's happened in that space. And of course, then they're talking about Harris and who's going to be the Democrat nominee. So that's coming up as well. So we'll look forward to see where that all ends up. Just all bizarre, a completely bizarre behavior going on here with the Democratic Party here. A little bit undermining democracy. I'm just saying, being kind. It's kind of weird stuff happening here. So we'll see what happens on the other side. No surprises here, probably, that most of it's expected, but we'll see where that heads. That leads us into crypto. We got Bitcoin at the moment is down 0.7%, $67,645, leading in, of course, to the Ethereum ETF and the Bitcoin conference. Donald Trump speaking as well. So that's just just a bit of a quiet day before we get into the main stuff, I guess. Ethereum there down 2.43% at $3,447. We got BNB down 2.4% at $588. Seems to be the play at the moment. So that is some of the general markets. Let's jump into Bitcoin a bit more detail. We can see that we came off a red day yesterday. We've got a brand new candle. So we've got a brand new candle now. Yesterday, of course, was a red day. But look at that red day at the top of a move. Pretty exciting. And, of course, over the yellow line, the 200-day moving average. So everything is, the 50-day moving average on the yellow. The blue is the 200-day moving average. And that is on a rise. So looking really, really good. Look at that. I mean, it looks great. So, yeah, what else can we say? Looking good there on Bitcoin. Now, it's only getting better, right, on Bitcoin. So if we zoom out and have a look at where we're heading here, we've got the interest rate pivot expected in 18th September. That's looking very good. And, of course, we've got the US election for the 5th of November. So everything's getting really, really, really positive here. September is typically where we have the weakest month. And then, of course, in October, we have Uptober, right? Where October is one of the best months. So everything is looking pretty good on the lineup there. And maybe the September pullback is very lame. Maybe it's just moved sideways. We shall see. Everything's looking pretty good. And that may be game over. Maybe this week it's game over because we're going to have some pretty big stuff happening with the Bitcoin Nashville conference there. So that's going to be pretty exciting to see the conference in play. And of course, President Trump expected to speak on the 27th. So that's really lining up for some excitement here with the old Bitcoin conference. Could be absolutely huge. Now, a bit closer information on that is that Donald Trump is apparently going to be at the National Bitcoin Conference. And, of course, everyone's getting very excited about that. Some of the key things that people are looking forward to is whether these going to, obviously, the implication for regulation, the SEC, and that could have flow-on effects for the Richard Hart case, maybe in the new year, maybe not at the end of this year, but the new year, depending on how the dismissal case goes. By October. I remember in August, we've got Richard Hart's Dream Team replying to that. So we'll talk more about that when we get to Pulsechain. But this is very bullish. Now, obviously, bullish on potentially stopping the SEC from being, at war with crypto and reversing that and being friendly and putting in clear regulatory guidelines. Is probably what we reasonably expect to see from the Trump administration. And, of course, should they win the election, which is looking very good for that, on track for that. And the other thing is, obviously, depending on who the Democrats put up, they're going to try and do the honeymoon phase, right? So they put them up in the last couple of months. They try to have that sort of honeymoon thing without too much criticism. So we'll see how that all plays out. But generally, the polls are looking very much in favor of President Trump. So we will see how that goes. Certainly bullish for crypto. And the other side of it, of course, is backing. Will they back, like part of the US Treasury, be backed in Bitcoin? And that's just a juggernaut, right? So if that does occur, then obviously we're going to, it's going to be absolutely huge for crypto. And if you see something about the Bitcoin conference coming up, then man, oh man, it's going to be insane, right? Insane for their Bitcoin. So hold on to your Bitcoin because it looked like it could go through the moon. Should we get some of this, some of the information here? So yeah, Trump scheduled to speak at Nashville conference July the 27th. So that's still ahead of there. And of course, speculation is high that he will announce Bitcoin as strategic reserve asset. Imagine it. Just imagine it. Mind blown, right? Mind blown. Could be absolutely huge. And of course, which could trigger a parabolic rise in Bitcoin's price. I mean, it would be insane. You'll see the money come through the Bitcoin ETFs and just market generally. And of course, it just unbelievable if this does gets confirmed there. So there's lots of bullish things that could come through from Trump speech, and of course administration flowing into next year, and of course particularly also around maybe the SEC versus Richard Hart, assuming the dismissal case doesn't get isn't successful. So we'll just see. That's all a lot of ifs there. So really, really bullish around what's happening here. So Bitcoin, man, really explosive. So obviously Bitcoin conference coming up this week. And of course, any of that news, hyper bullish. And then of course, we've also got interest rate pivots in September looking very, very good. That means money is cheaper and money will flow to higher yields, and they'll put it into there. And of course, the US election, positive there, regulatory change, etc. So a really positive flow on there. And of course, we've got the Ethereum ETF expected to start tomorrow. So more capital flowing into crypto too. Just can't get much better. This also leads into, of course, the first season on Bitcoin. So Bitcoin's going to do really well with the news flow. Then obviously meme coins for the first time ever on Bitcoin are going to do well, right? So and that is through the Runes protocol, which launched at the Bitcoin halving. So at the moment, you can still get in on a lot of the Runes at very, very handsome prices. Looking at Dog Go to the Moon, which is the one we're picking for the win at the top of the bull market. Remember, we're not in that psychological hype yet where we got that bam, those big consecutive double-digit gains every day. That's coming ahead of us. You watch it, it's coming. And of course, we'll get that altcoin season. And of course, looking for Bitcoin Dog to do extremely well. Currently 442 million. What will it get to? Will it get to 20 billion, 40 billion, 100 billion? We will see where it goes, but certainly still a very good entry at the moment on the range. We can still see a couple of greens there. Pups World up 8%, but kind of pretty laid back today with the Bitcoin just a bit chill today. So there we go at the moment. Lobo the Wolf Pup down 9% at the moment. We've had quite a bit of change in the NFTs on ordinals on the Bitcoin network. So we had a few other new faces here like Aeons, Bidinals here, Frontline. So there's a couple of news names there, Based Angels to check out too if you want to check out some of those. So that there is on Magic Eden. You can check out some of that there as well. So let's paste that in the link. So things are really looking so good for the end of this year, and of course leading into 25 also. We may get some economic challenges at 25, but apart from that, everything is looking pretty good for the crypto market. All right, that leads us into Ethereum, which is obviously Bitcoin looking good with the conference later in the week. But obviously we've got the Ethereum is tomorrow. So to Ethereum is tomorrow. We don't have to wait. And here we are at the moment over the 50-day moving average in yellow. 50-day moving average at the moment is $3,372. And we've got the Bitcoin price there at $3,449. And of course, after that, yesterday's a bit of a pullback yesterday, but after a nice little rally in the old Ethereum. And so, yeah, looking above, we've got the 50-day sitting at 3,372, and we're at 3,449 at the moment. And we've got the Ethereum ETFs are set to go tomorrow. Now, we're going to check out one of our two analysts, James Steffard from Bloomberg, who we follow for the Ethereum and Bitcoin ETF updates. He's got here, what are we expecting today for the Ethereum ETFs? We expect them to begin trading tomorrow. Just confirmation there. That means we should see a bunch of filings on SEC site today that say the ETF's prospectuses have gone effective. Likely after around market close, here are the race entrants. So these are the ones that we're expecting. Obviously, Grayscale Ethereum Mini Trust, Franklin Ethereum ETF, Van Eyck Ethereum ETF, the Bitwise Ethereum ETF, the 21 shares core Ethereum ETF, the Fidelity Ethereum Fund, the iShares Ethereum Fund, the Invesco Galaxy Ethereum ETF, and finally the Grayscale Ethereum Trust Conversion. So those are the ones there that are all in play, which is pretty cool. So that is set for tomorrow, US time. So exciting times ahead for crypto indeed. The lineups is beautiful for the crypto news. So that is pretty much it. And of course, that would lead into obviously the same bullish news for Bitcoin with the interest rate pivots in September. And then, of course, in October is typically an up October, right? Or Uptober, they say. So that's bullish. And then the US election on the 4th could usher in, depending on what we get from Bitcoin conference from Trump, could end up ushering in just the ability to execute what you say. So the conference will be what I'm going to do, and that's bullish. And then, of course, winning the election allows you to actually put in place what you say you're going to do. And of course, that means just a hyper rally. I mean, but this is going to be just a mega rally for crypto. Very, very exciting there. All right, so that is pretty much it. That leads us into Pulsechain, day 437 results. Now, I haven't obviously covered this for a few days. Before we get into that, though, let's get into some of the other things that are going on. I might change the background profile there. Put a bit of a dog up. How about that? Who else has jumped in the chat? Let's see who else is here. I'm going to take a chance to have a drink here. We've got Crypto Fury in the house there. Hello, nice to see you again, sir. Hey, Crypto Fury, hope you're doing well. Good to see you. Matt and Barley says Trump. That's right. It's going to be super bullish for us. But hey, look, Fundal even more at its core. As you guys know, it's going to be actually protecting our freedom. And for the whole West, it really is huge ramifications. And hopefully he's going to gut the deep state. That'll be very helpful. Thank you very much. We have been asked for proof of life for 4 years now, says Brian. Yeah, nice one. That's true. What else do we got? Lice Melissa Hex Pulse Hex incentive for the win, 100%. That is the golden crypto strategy. We're about to talk about that now, which is perfect timing there, Lice beneath. Just get better super, says Lice. Yeah. Hey, look, I might get some soup. Now he said super there. I feel like some soup, so I might get some of that. What else there? Let's see. I think we got SKB announced there. Glad you're on the mend. Superman says SKB. A big shout to you, SKB. SKB's been the first channel member of supporters. So big shout out to you, SKB. Nice to see you dropping in today. It's been a little while. All right, let's get back into it. So here we are on a day 437. And of course, we've got Pulse at the moment, quadruple 493, down 0.9% today, just below 50% of the mean sacrifice price. So we have come a way along, we've come some way back towards the mean sacrifice price. We've got Pulse X at the moment, quadruple 027, pretty flat, just down slightly at the moment, at 27% of the mean sacrifice price. The buy and burn is at 926.9 billion Pulse X. 4.58% of the public supply has been bought up and burned forever and ever. So that's slowly ticking away there. Incentive token at the moment, $2.86, down 1.34%. And we're at 58,160 on the ratio. So absolutely fantastic. Incentive token looking so good. Now, you've got to remember, I haven't been streaming through most of that rally that we had last week. So I think I covered the first couple of days. And then just kept going up and up and up. So we'll talk about that when we get to the charts. The supply there, 37.2 million incentive tokens in existence from the Pulsex V1 farms. Hex at the moment is at 6400th of a penny, down 1.76%. EHEX at the moment, 1300th of a penny. Combined price of EHEX and PX is at 7700th of a penny. So we're basically just over 3/4 of a penny there for Hex. A lot of people have been calling Hex to be the big mover. I don't know if you guys have been seeing that on X social platform. There's been a lot more bullish calls coming back on Hex, which has been very exciting to see. It was the poor cousin there for a little while. It just seemed like the one to pick up. So there we go. That's day 437. Let's check out the actual charts and have a look at that on view. We might go, we've got the RSI at the moment on the daily. So let's have a quick look at that. So here is the charts. We had that big rally. I missed it. I missed most of it because I was unwell with the sore throat and stuff. And so most of this happened while I was not streaming. But look at that. I did cover the first couple of days. And if you remember back here on the 10th of July, I said, oh, that looks like the bottom. And it turned out to be the bottom. So that's kind of cool. So we're taking away there. Now we still need to get higher in the price to get out of the full-on doldrums, and I guess 5,700 is where we need to go, right? 5,700 is where we need to head after that. So at the moment, we've had a cooling off in the RSI. This RSI is so good, isn't it? We use it all the time, and it did really pick the top of that move. And then we saw some big accounts. I think it was a big account selling down 10 billion Pulsechain, was it, if I remember rightly? So that's cooled that off the RSI, so it's looking pretty good. But with, like I say, the bullish news coming up this week, we've got, the ETF there, Ethereum ETF tomorrow, Bitcoin conference, 25th to the 27th. And of course, the 27th, President Trump expected to speak. And it could be a doozy. It could be a doozy because, like I say, if we get any hints around regulation, SEC positions, asset backing with Bitcoin, I mean, it's just insane. So yeah, it could be absolutely mega. We'll be looking forward to that. The other thing is that we've got, obviously following up on the 22nd, is the Richard Hart's response with his Dream Team lawyers to the SEC motion to dismiss. So that's what we're coming up, and that's, for me, I don't think that's a bullish thing because it's a bit like a boxing match and you're getting a punch back. And that's kind of cool. I don't know if we'll see any of that stuff, but that is looking bullish. And then, of course, we've got oral arguments in October there with interest rate pivots in September, and then the US election on the 5th of November. So that's kind of the line up there. And we may be surprised with the October oral arguments there for the motion to dismiss. So that'd be interesting to see how that all goes. But obviously the market might be a little nervous. We'll see. The euphoria might be so good that the market just ignores it. We shall see where we head there. All right, so that is pretty much it on Pulse. Pulsex obviously looking pretty good. We got on the averages, you can see we've got a bullish cross here. And so Pulsex looking still very good. RSI overheated 68, so it needs to cool down a little bit, and that's what it's been doing. So kind of cool. RSI got 73 overbought, and down it came. That's on the daily. All right, but let's go to the weekly on Pulsex and have a look at that. And that's the weekly. Look at that, beautiful actually. RSI is still pretty chill down at 45. Bounced off that support really nicely. Look at that, and still got a very strong higher low. So Pulsex looking very, very good versus Pulsechain. And look at this. Are we going to get a bullish cross? So now these two lines are pretty much the 13-day in the pink, and the purple there is the 34-day moving average. So it's on EMA to exponential moving average. So exponential just basically means it weights in the contemporary prices more than the earlier prices. So yeah, and that's looking pretty good. So if we get a bullish cross there, that's very bullish on the weekly there. So you can see what happened back here. So yeah, everything looking pretty good there. Let's jump over to incentive token. Man, this thing has been impressing, hasn't it? The incentive token. Look at this ratio. Let's have a look at it right now. Look at that, right at the top of the band almost. 61, right? 61. It's the top of that band. Now we're currently 58,200, holding out really well, and lots of room to move. We could see a real strong breakout. Like I say, if we get over 71,000 on the ratio, man, it could be a really big breakout. Yeah, I think we're going to see some exciting stuff with the incentive token. Obviously, a benefit from the Pulse price having a rally. And then later in the future, once it does high enough gains, it could really do some really fun price discovery. But then, of course, it's going to be sold into by any of the whales that are harvesting incentive tokens. So just keep that in the back of the mind that we'll have a good run, a good break. But of course, there's people mining the stuff, right? So very large players mining the stuff. So keep that back of your mind there. Eventually, big sell candles probably into that. All right, we've got Hex at the moment is looking much better. It would look like a sick puppy, but it was when it's a sick puppy, it's the best time to buy it, right? So there we go. Look after the little puppy, bring it back to life, and there it is back up. So we're all the way down at 4,200th of a penny on Hex on Pulsechain. We got all the way back up there to 7,100. Currently at 6,400th of a penny at the moment. RSI definitely cooled off there, and everything's still looking really good on the old Hex there. So still very good accumulation zone. If we go full chart, you can see anything under this yellow orange line here at 1 cent, just absolutely a fantastic buy. So kind of cool. Remember, it's got slightly smaller liquidity as well compared to some of the Pulse and PulseX. So can be moved easier with the constant function there for AMM pulse. So kind of cool. Let's go over to Hex here. There's EX. Yeah, man, they had a nice little rally, but man, got sold off pretty hard. So it hasn't performed as well as a Pulsechain. Of course, Hex on Pulsechain with the magic upright. That's pretty much it. So kind of cool. That is the results there. Quickly looking at the gas prices, 250,000 beats, so not too bad. 4/10 of a penny for a PulseX swap at the moment. Super cheap to see in Pulse and Pulsechain coins. Looking at the validators, 48,586 validators, 1.55 trillion in the Pulse the stake there. It's been like that for like what, 2 months now. So not too much change there. And the bridge, how nice to see it staying over $100 million, 102.7 million. And of course, if we get a breakout, obviously with ETH and Bitcoin moving ahead, then obviously this is all going to get re-rated because a lot of the stuff over the bridge is Ethereum, wrap Bitcoin. EHEX is probably holding it back because EHEX pulling all the way back down to 1,300th of a penny is holding back the bridge value there. And of course, what we'd like to see is more DAI, USDC and Tether coming over. Obviously, Coast plays a role, and we need that official bridge. Yeah, that's kind of what we want to see there. The other thing, of course, is when we should get a rally on, we'll probably see the native stable coins like USDL, PXDC, and XDC ratchet up as well. So those are the other things people take on a bit more risk. But ultimately, guys know what I want to see. I want to see PUSD Algo from Jacob launch. That would be absolutely epic. And I think there's definitely a path for that launching. And I'm going to talk about that probably in another video. So stay tuned for that. Obviously, that's a sacrifice that's still open. You can get I think 19%. I think a 19% bonus or 20% bonus in the link in the video description if you want to participate in that. But I think that could be huge. Yeah, so we'll talk more about that another time. So that's the results there for a day 437. We've just started day 438 since Pulsechain launch, which is pretty cool. And that's going to lead us into some of the other charts at the moment. Looking at the Hex derivatives, we've got the Decky, which is the 10-year mining pool, sitting at up 2% at the moment. Lucky is a 7-year mining pool. It's at 1.9% there. So a little bit of movements on the Hex derivatives. Let's jump over to the stable coins and see how they've been going. Well, not a lot of action here at the moment. Let's have a look. PDI sitting at 2,200 of pennies, and nothing much happened there. And LUSD there sitting down 11% as well. So those are the two speculative plays. Nothing happening much there at the moment. In fact, let's have a look at the LUSD just quickly to see what the chart looks like. Yeah, just moving sideways pretty much, but it's still burning through, I believe. Let's go to the website. Let's have a quick look, see that how that's going. I think so. What was the project team that did 100 million pulse burn today? I can't remember. I've just forgotten which one that was. Let me know in the chat there if you guys have seen that update. Just kind of trying to remember the token that happened. The burn. Let's have a look at the burn. 4.5%. So still looking at 4.491% it is at the moment. That is where that is at. So a lot slower than I think they anticipated. But maybe it's just the volumes and the volatility not quite there for accelerated burn. But still ticking away. All right, so let's go to the influencer coins. The only one really standing out there is Maddie Allen, up 37% at $3.35. So let's have a zoom in on that. Yeah, there we go. Look at that. So I had a bit of a comeback there. Maybe that green candle back here on the 17th. But you got all the way up to how much? $7.82. Came all the way back to $2.48, now back up at $3.35, up 37%. So the standout one there are the influencer coins today, is the old Matty Allen. All right, let's jump over to the rest of Pulsechain. Have a quick look at that. Have a look at the overalls. So based on trending, we got 6.3 million in volume, so it's still pretty low for a weekday. It'd be great to get back over 25 million, wouldn't it? So that's kind of our goal at the moment. And things can turn around once we get a bit of momentum on. Excuse me, we've got 130,000 transactions at the moment. So that's kind of where we're ticking. Let me just have a quick drink here. Excuse me. It's catching up to me now. There we go. Clear the throat and clear the mind. Is that what they say? Clear the throat and clear the mind. That's how we rock and roll. I'm probably sounding more Australian today than I am Kiwi, which is kind of funny. All right, let's get into the chat there. Let's move on. Let's see who else has jumped in here. We've got Brennan says, how is this guy a capo? You talk about the bookie. Who knows? Who knows? Supers goes down and market goes up. So that's just a coincidence, says Bookie. Yeah, I don't know. He's in trouble, Brennan. He's in trouble. Tell me your secret, says Fast Dabs All. He's graced our chat today. Good to see you there in the chat there. Hex token for the win, says Lust Beneath. Absolutely. Absolutely. All right, let's move forward. Yeah, we're going to champion on, and that is pretty much the markets there. Let's have a quick look at the top performers. We've got a token called Pump there. It's up 80%. The next got a good one there is Mafia. That's up 15%, which is good timing because that's where we're going with the old Mafia. So let's talk about that. Look at that. Woo! I gave that a clap. That is Mafia token. And of course, you guys know we're the first influencer to cover Mafia. Let's take a bit of bragging rights about it, right? Let's take a bit of bragging rights. But look at that. Is that a nice little cup there? I don't know. Brennan, is that a cup? We need a little handle. Is that a little handle? But they're really pushing back to the all-time highs here. We got up to 25 hundredths of a penny or quarter of a penny. And we're just below that at the moment at 22 hundredths of a penny there. So, yeah, market cap, remember, was pretty badass. Still really early. What do we get up to? 2.5 million. Yeah, 2.5 million. We're currently at 2.2 million on the market cap, so still pretty early for that. Obviously, Mafia is clearly the number one GameFi now on Pulsechain. And, of course, also is playing on BNB as well. They do have, I think it's going to be a BNB session on a Binance thing for gaming, and it's Mafia's. People will be attending that from Mafia side. So some people are asking about that. That is playing. It's going to be happening, I think, this week. So kind of cool. But yeah, looking pretty good. Now remember, there's a 4.7% buy tax. You need a 5% slippage on the buy side, and then there's a 16.6% sell tax, which needs about 20% slippage on the sell side. Remember that. So that all feeds the vault. So the vault is what people are playing for. And of course, it has other things that feed it, like keys and secondary market transactions as well. So it's getting pretty cool. But that chart's looking pretty damn good, isn't it? I think it's looking pretty damn good. So there we go. That is it. And I think it had a bit of a move in the actual Mafia side as well. Let's have a quick look to see whether BNB also has done well. Yes. 2000. Actually, we had a sell-off yesterday on the BNB side. So this is the BNB side. We had some big accounts, two big accounts or whale accounts sell down. And that means it's a nice buying opportunity over there, like even better than it was. So those two players exiting there and a chance to enter over here at very good prices. You can get millions and millions of Mafia over on BNB for a very good price now at the moment. So what's it, around just over $200 per million Mafia over there. So pretty amazing. Now the price difference, of course, on a Pulse Mafia is about 11 times higher or something. So you're going to get about 11 times more Mafia on BNB at the moment. So there we go. There's a little bit of diversity play. So that is pretty much it. Let's have a look at the actual results from Mafia on Pulsechain. All we do, let's grab another drink. This is non-alcoholic drink. We got 843 players at the moment on Pulsechain for Pulse Mafia. 7 in crime families, so no change there. And the vault is just getting bigger. Look at that. 4.36 billion pulses now in the vault. So 216,000. I think that's getting up into pretty much the top reflection project levels, which I think are around 5-6 million. So excuse me. So I think that's looking pretty awesome. And how's it getting so big? Well, it's being fed by the market transactions in yellow, which is the tax man. It's also got the keys. People are buying keys to open up crates, which are in-game assets. And then, of course, the secondary market, people are selling and buying and selling on the secondary market. So that's feeding the vaults. It's had a bit of an uptick too. Look at that. So there's a lot of activity happening on the old Pulse Mafia. Now, let's go to the families. We can see the top families at the moment, the syndicate. Hey, that's how we rock and roll. And, of course, we're sitting there at 419,000 wealth. Syndicate there led by Don, the Archie Capone. And, of course, we've got the Gearheads at number 2 with Gifford Ware and Crypto Kool-Aid. Number 3 is the Salamancas, led by the Big Whale and Nunzio. And then we've got number 4, the Mysterious Family, or maybe not so mysterious now, is the Yakuza, led by Luciano, now part of the Directorate. We'll talk about that in a minute. And then we got number 5, the Hustlers. And we got Voltron there. So Hustlers there was set up by the Lick Gaines, wasn't it? Lick Gaines. Now part of the Directorate. So we've had some big moves there. Now, before I get into the rest of the families, we've had obviously the first family to become to actually qualify and get set up an allegiance is the Syndicate from Archie the Don. So Archie is a master player at this game already, and the game's only in pre-launch phase, 5+. And of course, there's going to be 11 phases before the game goes live. But the Directorate was set up, and that's the first allegiance. And it's got the Syndicate in it. It's got this Mysterious Family, the Yakuza, in it. And it's got Lick Gaines' family in it, the Hustlers, all in the Syndicate. So the power move has been made, and the signals have been sent. So, yeah, the Syndicate continues to dominate. Pretty exciting there. And, of course, the prizes keep getting bigger, right? The vault's getting bigger. And so... the games are afoot. The game hasn't even full on started yet. Once we get to phase 12, right? We're on phase 5+, but it's the allegiance has started. So very power move there. So that's looking pretty good. Obviously, the crates you can still buy keys, $20 for keys, and open up in-game crates. Looks like we've still got the top prizes there: Mafia, OG NFTs, keys, and of course the Mafia. There's still 38.2 million Mafia remaining to be won there, so still lots of upside there. But let's not forget that we've also got the BNB side. So let's have a quick look at the BNB, and we got 869 families players over there on BNB, 17 crime families, same in number of families, but there are quite a few different families in there. And the vault, of course, is now at 121 BNB, so it's slowly going up as well. So that's well over $78,000 on there now, over there on the vault there. So kind of cool. So I can't remember exactly what the number is there, but we got 210. So we must be around 280 to 290,000 combined in the vaults, somewhere in that ballpark, 280 to 290,000 US dollars. And this is the current price of Pulsechain. And so if we have a rally in Pulsechain and BNB ahead of us, this thing could quickly head north very quickly. Let's just do some dream math, or you're talking about 2x, $500,000, $1 million. I mean, these are easily in view from where we are now, and of course, more tokens, more is going into the vaults, right? More Pulse, more BNB. So very excited where that's heading. Now, looking at the families, we can see over on BNB the OGs there at number 1. And that's actually the second family to do an alliance, so that's very excited, called the OG Alliance. But of course, the Syndicate was first at number 2 there, led, and of course they've got an alliance with the Yakuza again, another family over here as well, and the Illuminati. Not one, we don't know much about this family, but they're there as well. So the Syndicate there is running the Directorate on BNB as well. So clearly the Syndicate dominating both the Pulsechain and BNB. But it's good to see the original gangsters there have set up their OG alliance, And you can see with the OG Sopranos and Escobars there are 2 other cities in New Jersey and Medellin. So not bad there. And lots of things happening. In the 3rd spot there is the Mug Mouse, just sort of trying to sneakily sit there and not be garner too much attention. Apparently, that's their strategy, led by Don Mugnow there, another large player in the game. So yeah, we shall see where all it heads, but games are afoot. Now, obviously, you can still get keys over on BNB, but they also have most of the business. Well, not most of them. They've still got a lot of the businesses left. 44 remaining. So you can't win those. You can't open up crates for businesses on Pulsechain. You can only buy them on the secondary market, but on Mafia, you can still have a chance of winning these. And of course, they can go for potentially for hundreds, thousands of dollars. So interesting to see that. And also, no one has won any Mafia yet over on the keys there. 50 million Mafia on the BNB. Obviously, there's a big price difference between the 2 chains at the moment. So that is pretty much where we are over there. So kind of cool things happening. So sometimes people forget that there's 2 chains sometimes, depending on if they're only playing on one. Some people are playing on both, but definitely lots of fun happening there. So that is where Pulsechain is at the moment. And of course, you can pick up crates, $20 at the moment. You can buy them with Pulse, PulseX, etc., and try and open up crates there and win those. It's kind of cool. I'm not sure what player am I on at the moment. Scarface. Yeah, okay. All right, so that is playing there. Let's see what else we got here. We've got a couple more comments. Let's see who else has jumped in here. Wookie says, Wookie's mind is always clear. Clearly clouded, says Brian. I don't know what's going on there. A bit of a tit for tat there. But we've got Archie in the house there. Hi, all. Good to see Archie. Hope you're doing well at the Don of the Syndicate. Big shout out for everything that Don is doing. I think that's it. We'll probably leave a few of those other comments out there. So that is pretty much where we are with Mafia. The game is going very, very well indeed. And if you haven't played, definitely grab a player. I'll post a link to that, of course, if you want to get to it in the chat there. I'm not sure if Archie can post the recruitment if you want to join the syndicate. It's $100 to join the syndicate, but as you can see, we are dominating the game on both sides at the moment, and of course, you get benefits on both chains as well. So that's there's a lot of upside for being in the syndicate. All right, so there we go. Pulse Mafia, check it out today. Grab a player. Only 2,000 Mafia. Grab players. So it's a few bucks. It's not much at all. And probably only 60 cents or 70 cents over on BNB. So that is pretty much it. Let's go over to Hex, of course, and see where Hex is going. So day 1695, and we don't have any Ethereum stuff. I don't know why it hasn't been updated since day 16, 24th of July. I don't know why, but we've got Pulsechain that keeps ticking away. And what day do we get to come off? Day 437. Is that what I said? I think it was 437. Let's double check. I like to at least have the days right. So 437, yeah, got that right. Nice. So 21st of July. We had the price obviously down a little bit there. The payouts have been spectacular. I haven't covered it for the last week or so, but 7.135 today. Pretty similar number the day before. 7.3 3 days ago. So 7.1, 7, 7, 7. It's pretty good payouts. And we had a big jump in the share rate today though, and yesterday. So a few big moves in the share rate. Today was particularly big, 106. But we have had some other decent ones, 32 and 33 there. So share rate is up at 35,447 at the moment on the old Pulsechain. So lots of action there. T-shares, man, big move down 2 days ago. 120,000 T-shares. Say what? That's a massive reduction there. And we've had an increase of 3,600 today. 9.2 million T-shares now on the old Pulsechain side, which is going to be pretty similar to where the Ethereum side was sometime that year. Was certainly closing the gap a little bit there. They'd already gone below 9 million on the old Ethereum side. So big changes happening there. Now the reward pools, pretty modest penalties, except for 3 days ago, had 6.5 million Hex penalties there on Pulsechain side. Still sitting around 65.5 million on a daily basis in terms of the payouts. Liquid numbers keep growing and miners keep declining. We're seeing 122,345 miners. Now, what's going to be interesting is obviously we're expecting a rally, into the end of the year, And what will it be like when we get to December, January, February next year, which will be when the 10-year Hex miners will be able to half end stake if the price is attractive enough. We might see a lot of penalties coming in there when that 2029, 2030 Hex miners end up 50% end stake, and they give away their interest that they've waited for 5 years at least, but they're going for the price gains, right? So it will be interesting to see that sort of behavior. Could be a mass culling event in T-shares. We'll see. Depend on where X price is. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see that stuff play out. Food for thought, we say. Food for thought. Let's see who else has jumped in here. We got Archie's in here with the syndicate recruitment. Yes, if you want to join up, grab yourself a player. Only costs 2,000 Mafia to buy a player, and you can have as many as you want. And the 2,000 each, of course. But then you can join the syndicate if you want. We're pretty open-minded, and there's an application process, and it will cost you $100. I think it's in Mafia, is it, Archie? Probably. So you'll find out more there if you get accepted in to the #1 family. That's the Don himself, post it net. So Richie's in house there. Hi, Superman. Stay off the kryptonite milkshake and get well soon. Hey, I will do there, Richie. Appreciate that. Damn kryptonite milkshakes. All right, so that is pretty much it on that timeline. 45 minutes. Way to go. We did it. We got through. We got through the first time back. It's always, you got to get back at some stage, right? Yeah. So it's good to push the voice a bit and yeah. And be back streaming again. 6 days off is a lot, because you guys know I'm virtually on every day, and so normally I take about 1 day a week off or something now. But it is weird taking off so many days when you sharing the journey. It's because really we're in the party hour now. I mean, we're about to go to the next gear is about to shift up. I mean, the crypto bull market. It's going to be pretty crazy. Archie the Don says recruits can pay in a Mafia, BNB, Pulse, or die for the $100. Okay, cool. That's awesome. If you get accepted, of course. Yeah. But yeah, pretty open-minded. And I think that's the cool thing about the game is that not all families, Mafia families, have even recruit people. So there's some that do recruit people. Obviously the OGs, ourselves, probably gearheads, maybe. I don't know what all that is, but definitely there's lots of opportunity there for people to, in the syndicate to grow, and we like that because it's part of the the openness of the game, and the game keeps getting bigger. Now I think there's going to be a big stream coming up with RH Max. I think with RH Max, or no, who's the other guy? Is it RH Max? No, Corey Costa. I think it's Corey Costa on the Mafia. So that's coming up, I think, in the next 24 hours. I think something like that. So it's definitely something to keep a lookout for from that. And then I think Colt DeFi is organizing all that stuff. So I'm very excited to see that. And there might actually be Crypto Kool-Aid there, and there might be on that show too. So yeah, Mafia is spreading the word in the Pulsechain. We got about at least 12 influencers, I think, have covered the Pulse Mafia, which is a pretty good number, including Crypto Coffee, the #1, I would argue, influencer in the space there. So kind of cool. Looking really good. Man, is it the future? Looks so good. I mean, let's just summarize this quickly. We've got the Ethereum ETFs tomorrow. Bullish. Super bullish. We got the Bitcoin conference 25th to 27th later this week with President Trump speaking. May announce some policies which just blow people's minds regarding government-backed assets with Bitcoin. I mean, seriously. It's the last mile, right? Now, the Bitcoin ETFs are just a game changer about moving to the biggest country in the world. If they do that, if that does happen, nevertheless, let's assume that doesn't happen, but we still get the regulatory change. That's just going to be fantastic too, rather than being harassed by the SEC, who's on pretty much just a terrible approach to regulation, and of course they're getting shut down by the courts by over interpreting stuff that they don't have a right to do, that lawmakers are supposed to interpret and set up laws for. So it's going to be pretty interesting to see that and how that flows into Pulsechain. That could be the ultimate big benefit directly to Pulsechain is how the SEC is treated in the next year, because they'll change the hierarchy, right, and they'll change the approach, and they may drop cases that they consider negligible, like the Richard Hart one. So we shall see where that goes. Obviously, we want to defeat that before we get there with the dismissal case in October. That'd be, the quicker the better. But let's see where we go. Richard has not held Richard back. Richard has been posting like a champion on X, and I don't know if you guys have seen it. He's been posting lots and lots of posts around the elections, freedom, hacked exchanges. You name it, Richard's been out and about. So he's been having fun there, and it's great to see him doing all that sort of stuff. I think we can all appreciate that. Brian's in the house there. Big super sticker there. Thank you so much, Brian. Appreciate your support as always. Welcome back, boss. Here's a little something so you can make it drink a little less non-alcoholic. Just saying, says Brian. Nice one there. Appreciate it. All right. Big shout out to Brian. Yeah, so that is kind of cool from Richard. Really good to see that. And yeah, so we've got lots of stuff in store just for this week alone. And then, of course, we've got Richard Hart in August with the response to the dismissal. And then, of course, we've got the interest rate pivot potentially in September. And then, of course, we've got the US election in November. So we've got a perfect lineup for the real main part, what I call the main part of the Bitcoin rally to start, the crypto rally start rallying. And, of course, we could hit $100,000 Bitcoin by the end of the year, if not higher. And of course, if we hit the 100,000, you know what the atmosphere is like around that time. It's absolutely nuts. So it's huge for next year. So yeah, I'm very bullish about crypto leading into 2025. And of course, it's a second, third quarter up to that point. And then of course, the only thing I'm hesitant about is the US economy from different other angles. That's for a discussion for another day. Apart from that, we're going to have probably the best leader. And of course, more fundamental, of course, is freedom. This is the last election. This would have been the last election for freedom globally. If Trump doesn't win it, then freedom is going to be gone permanently. And they just need 4 more years to just final all that power takeover and undermine democracy. So it's going to be great from a freedom point of view, and it has ramifications around the world, including New Zealand. And we'll get back to normal things being said, common sense being done. So pretty exciting. We got Brian's also 29. Woohoo! Big shout out to Brian. Brian's one of our 4 oldest members in the channel as well. So we had SKB in the house. Now we got Brian with the 29 months. Big shout out. Can't do much without the long-term support of the members. So big shout out to you guys. All right. Well, on that note of that cough, I better go, and I hope you guys enjoy yourself. Take care, everybody. Let's play a video on the way up. All right, peace out, everybody, and until next time, bye. Catch you tomorrow.
In theory, if someone were a billionaire and they had like all this money, why wouldn't they just buy more of the thing they liked instead of dumping the thing they liked? Like if Bezos bought shares in Amazon, would you be pissed off? If Apple does a stock buyback and they buy more of their own shares in their company back from the public, which is a way to turn earnings into yield for the shareholders, do you get mad and yell at Apple? And so we had to come up with a word for this fan fiction fantasy, which is the opposite of a rug pull, called a magic carpet ride. And so if you're worried about risk of a rug pull, what weighted value have you given the risk of a magic carpet ride? And it's just hilarious to me.
It's fun to watch Hex pumping up the charts. It's left behind all kinds of broken hearts who didn't buy the dip, who didn't DCA, and now that we're on a rip, it's hard to look away. Now I'm not the one to hand out free advice, price. But as for me, I wouldn't dare think twice about buying a bag, since we're still somewhat down this rocket ship's about to break the speed of sound. You know these wheels are starting to roll. Best to sit back and just enjoy the show, 'cause we're about to ride that train into the heart of Hexaco. Now, I tip my hat to everyone who minds. You're getting paid out while you're killing time. It makes room for a nice vacation to the beach, perhaps a celebration now that you are rich. Ha ha! Ignore the haters who all called you crazy. You studied hard while they were being lazy. Now you're packing bags, about to take a ride up on that rocket ship, mooned up and starry-eyed. I feel these wheels are starting to roll. Best to sit back and just enjoy the show, 'cause we're about to ride that train into the heart of Hexaco. Now that we're summer bound and the sun is bright, I see that it's not round but rather has 6 sides. It's a work of art that's written into code, designed by Richard Hart to make our bags explode. You know these wheels are starting to roll. Best to sit back and just enjoy the show, 'cause we're about to ride that train into the heart of Hexaco. Yeah, we're about to ride that train into the heart of Hexaco.